Dwight Howard picks Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as his GOAT, pays tribute to NBA legends in his Hall of Fame speech. Dwight Howard has never been shy about showing his personality on and off the court. He has been loved, hated, misunderstood, celebrated, criticized, and everything in between. But when he finally stood on the Hall of Fame stage to deliver his induction speech, Howard made sure the spotlight wasn't on himself alone. Instead, he used his platform to honor the legends who paved the way for him, reflect on his journey, and leave no doubt about the deep respect he carries for the game of basketball. It was a speech filled with laughter, sincerity, and a few unexpected moments of Dwight-style humor. Yet beneath the jokes, Howard's message was one of gratitude and reverence, a recognition that his career was part of a larger story stretching across generations of basketball greats. Escorted by giants as Howard approached the stage, he wasn't alone. 4 Hall of Fame giants, Shaquille O'Neal, Dominique Wilkins, Robert Parish, and PatrickEwing, walked him out. Their presence symbolized both the pressure Howard carried during his prime years and the fraternity he had longed to fully join. The first tribute went to Robert Parish, the Chief. Howard recalled how his grandmother adored Parish, and he shared a memory from his rookie year when Parish inspired him during a training visit at IMG Academy. "You was one of my biggest inspirations," Howard said, his voice carrying both humor and humility. For a player who entered the league as a teenager, seeing Parish in person was proof that greatness was something tangible, something to chase. Remembering legends who passed, Howard then shifted the tone, honoring 2 legends who had recently passed away, Bill Russell and Dikembe Mutombo. Russell, who was enshrined in the Hall of Fame 50 years ago, left a deep impression on Howard. "Your book, Russell Rules, allowed me to understand the game at a whole different level," Howard said. "That book taught me about leadership and the importance of staying committed to my goals." For a center often defined by his physical gifts, Howard wanted people to remember that he also studied the game, learning lessons about leadership from the greatest winner in NBA history. Then came Dikembe Mutombo, one of the greatest defenders the league has ever seen. Howard, himself a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, acknowledged Mutombo's influence on his own approach. "You motivated me to challenge every shot and battle for every shot," he said. "So thank you." It was a reminder that Howard's defensive dominance wasn't just instinct, it was also the result of watching, learning, and emulating legends who made protecting the rim an art form. Declaring his GOAT. The speech's most striking moment came when Howard turned his attention to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. "Kareem, I wish you could be here because you are my GOAT," Howard said firmly. "You are the only player in NBA history to have 2 Hall of Fame careers, one as Lou Alcindor and the other as Kareem. I'm gonna get me a new name to come back and play y'all." It was vintage Dwight, serious in its respect, yet playful enough to draw laughs from the crowd. By picking Kareem as his personal GOAT, Howard made a bold choice in the endless basketball debate often dominated by Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant. But to him, Kareem's longevity, dominance, and cultural impact represented the pinnacle of greatness. It also felt fitting, as a center who carried the torch for his position in the modern NBA, Howard wanted to acknowledge the man who perfected the craft decades earlier. Giving flowers to his inspirations. Howard didn't stop there. He continued giving flowers to other players who shaped him. Dennis Rodman, whom Howard called the greatest rebounder ever, was recognized for his relentless energy. Howard said that watching Rodman fueled his own obsession with dominating the glass, a skill that led him to win 5 rebounding titles in his career. For all of Howard's power dunks and highlight blocks, it was his work on the boards that defined his statistical legacy. Dominique Wilkins, one of the legends who escorted him to the stage, received a heartfelt thank you as well. Howard recalled seeing Wilkins at his very first high school game. "It made me believe that my NBA career and my dream was at reach," Howard said. For a teenager from Atlanta, having a Hawks legend at his side made the dream of making it to the league suddenly feel possible. Patrick Ewing, his coach and mentor during his Orlando Magic days, earned perhaps the warmest tribute. Howard explained that being coached by one of the greatest centers of all time pushed him to strive for greatness every night. "In every game I wanted to win so I could just walk around and do like this," Howard said, mimicking Ewing's classic mannerisms. It was both light-hearted and deeply respectful, a reminder that mentorship in the NBA often goes beyond X's and O's. Reconciling with Shaq. The speech also addressed one of the most infamous storylines of Howard's career, his rivalry with Shaquille O'Neal. For years, the two centers clashed over the Superman nickname, with Shaq often dismissing Howard's accomplishments. On this night, though, the tension melted into brotherhood. "Shaq, we did not always see eye to eye, but in hindsight, I believe it was just sibling rivalries," Howard admitted. We are brothers in this fraternity of basketball, and sometimes brothers fight over the stupidest stuff. I really blame Soldier Boy, y'all." The crowd laughed, and Shark cracked a smile. Howard closed the moment with a line that perfectly balanced humor and reverence. "I just want y'all to know that the two original Supermen is in the building today, and it's an honor to have you walk me out into this arena of greatness." For fans who watched the feud play out in headlines and interviews, this reconciliation felt like a fitting full circle. Reframing his legacy. For much of his career, Dwight Howard was misunderstood. His fun-loving personality was often criticized as immaturity. His departure from Orlando and his rocky stints in Los Angeles and Houston sparked narratives that he was difficult to work with. Even as his resume piled up 8 All-Star appearances, 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards, 5 rebounding titles, and an NBA championship, many doubted whether his legacy would ever be fully appreciated. His Hall of Fame speech was a chance to rewrite that narrative. By showing gratitude, humility, and humor, Howard reminded the basketball world that he was more than the caricature often painted by media soundbites. He was a student of the game, a product of legends before him, and now a legend himself. A night of gratitude. Dwight Howard's induction wasn't just about numbers or accolades. It was about lineage. By naming Kareem as his GOAT, saluting Russell, Mutombo, Parish, Rodman, Wilkins, Ewing, and Shaq, Howard positioned himself as part of a family tree of greatness, one branch among many, but forever connected. The speech captured the essence of what the Hall of Fame is supposed to be, not just a celebration of individual success, but a reminder of the shoulders every player stands on. For Howard, who entered the league as a smiling teenager and left it as a world champion and Hall of Famer, it was the ultimate chance to say thank you. And in classic Dwight fashion, he did it with a mix of reverence, humor, and undeniable heart.